the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. In the beginning,
getting closer to God, getting closer to God, getting closer to God, in a tight situation now.
Oh! Oh no! Right, I need to sort this out. Yeah, here at Radio Goldfish, 109.4 FM. We have the most technologically advanced setups, cable management that would impress even your grandmother. Clearly, you have a mic cable here knocking the tone arm. Yeah, out to each and everyone inside. I saw the GTA 6 trailer and I was like, wow, this game's going to be generational. This is my own version of a GTA radio, inspired from MSX FM.
Okay, you're doing that.
That first tune was Closer to God by DJ Hype. This one is Shamon and Andy C, track called Genetics. Yeah, so we're taking inspiration from GTA 3 here, which is the... wasn't the first GTA I ever played. The first one was, of course, GTA 2. I remember being 11 years old and covering up the 18 sign so that my mum wouldn't see it.
Okay, you're doing that.
I was like, can I have this, please? All right, then. Yeah, millennial parents were just built different. They would buy 18-rated games for 11-year-olds. That's just how the world worked back then. I need to sort out this mic cable.
Okay, you're doing that.
Yeah, it's time to enter the dragon.
Master? You can call it the art of fighting without fighting. The art of fighting without fighting? Show me some of it.
Out to Connor, out to Curda Mall, out to Mr. Swagson. I hope you got your audio issues fixed. Out to Ollie inside. Out to Tom as well, welcome. This one's DJ Red, track called Enter the Dragon. This is the last stream. Well, I might do one later on because I've got my surgery tomorrow, so I'll be out for a couple of weeks. And it didn't help that a couple of days ago I injured my ankle, so I can just about stand up. And I'm only joking. Yeah, I can stand up. It's fine. I can put weight on it. But yesterday was like a complete, utter, just yeah. Just didn't. It wasn't cooperating. Was my ankle? I couldn't put any weight on it whatsoever.
Get to the city. Pay your respects.
So I'm playing a lot of late 90s, sort of early 2000s, really early 2000s drum and bass right now. So in around about 96, you had this new wave of producers that were making a style of drum and bass called jump up. And this is what jump up drum and bass sounded like. And then obviously, as we progressed into the 21st century, people started experimenting with LFOs and wobbles, and you had producers like DJ Hazard, Original Sin, Generation Dub, Taxman, and they sort of evolved the sound into that direction. Yeah, a bit of a weird one. I'm not really quite sure how you would describe Jump Up. Rather, you would just have a look at anything by Ganja. Ganja Records, True Players. You know, they were making music that was heavily sampling, like, you know, American hip hop. And this is a DJ Hype remix of Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy. And it's called Jump Up because the music makes you jump up and dance. That's why it's called Jump Up. Clever. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of modern jump up. Yeah, just not a fan of it. I love the old stuff though. Yeah, out to Mihaly. Apologies if I butchered that name. Welcome inside. Yeah, I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to DJ sets. Just give me 2 turntables. That's all I need. A few effects are fine. Like I've got 6 here, and I make use of this one here. This is V Echo. I make use of that one a little bit too much. Hey, what are you gonna do? I'm not a big fan of this, like, you know, having a tune in for a minute and then just dropping it out. Like, it's not really my bag, you know what I mean? This one is Still Waters by Basic Influence, which is an alias for a man like Dillinger. Absolute Don of all Don. This one's Lemon D. Track called Chainsaw. You know, Lemon D and Dillinger, long-time production partners. No one could get the drums to sound as large as this. Big drums, big bass.
When all is said and done, we must forgive each other and redeem each other and move on, move on, move on.
Yeah, out to VJ Digita. Welcome inside. Playing some prime Ganja Crew. This one's called Move On. This one's a very, very tasty one. Tasty tune right now.
Pump up the sound to the maximum. Demon, 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 demon.
Picking up everyone locked in right now. This one is Ed Rush and Optical, track called Point Blank. Definitely inspired the Neurofunk genre. Yeah, this one's Dillinger, track called Acid Track. This one's a big one. Yeah, out to VJ Digita, out to Connor, out to Ollie, Mr. Swagson, Kurda Moll. Everyone else that's locked in right now, make yourself known. Yeah, going into a classic right now. This one, Ed Rush and Nico, track called Mothership. Yeah, good to have you on board, mate. VJ. This is actually my last live stream for a couple of weeks. I've got a surgery tomorrow, unfortunately, so going to be out of action, I think, for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So apologies if you subscribed expecting regular streams. I normally stream regularly. So I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks, as you all know, while I recover from my operation that I'm having tomorrow. Just before we go further, this one's DJ Trace, track called Dreamland 96. Classic tech step. But don't you worry, I'll be feeding you a little bits and bobs here and there. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, I'm going to be uploading some lost streams that I neglected to upload to Patreon in the past. So I'm going to upload those. I think there's maybe 3 or 4, so at least I've got one upload a week there. That'll do me for 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, sorry, 3 or 4 weeks. I think it's 3. And then on the main channel, on the YouTube channel, I'm going to do a jump up, I think. Jump up drum and bass mix. In the early 90s, late 90s jump up. Or it might be just like a Ganja Crew, True Players kind of tribute mix or something like that. Then I'm going to start a new series called Jungle Renegades. And the first one I'm going to do is going to be for Omnitrio. So along the lines of Dubstep Dons, just focusing on one particular jungle drum and bass producer. So that's going to be the first entry into that series, Jungle Renegades, Omnitrio. So I've got to record that a little bit later on tonight because I won't be able to do anything tomorrow. Typical Goldfish, leave everything to the last minute. Alright, I'm going to leave you with this one. This one's Rings Around Saturn by Photek. This is the Pesce and Dakota remix. This is going to be a last tune. Hopefully not the last tune ever. Definitely not. It's just a hernia up. I'll be fine. Yeah, so this one is from Form and Function, released back in 1998. Late 90s were a really interesting time for drum and bass. You had Tech Step, you had a bunch of producers making very good music for the major record labels like Virgin. Island Records had a drum and bass / electronic label, as did companies like Polydor as well. I've spoken about this before in other streams, but drum and bass was very en vogue back in the late 90s. In vogue. You know what? I will give the NHS, I will give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I had my operation it got booked very, very quickly. which is not what I was expecting. Like, I had my GP appointment in late February, and now it's March. So that's not very long. Like, I was expecting to wait a year, but they were like, yeah, we can do it like next week if you want. I told them, I said, no, I can't do it next week because I gotta get time off work, and I've got colleagues that and people that work underneath me as well. I can't just leave them and drop everything and fuck off for what, 8 weeks? So I was like, let's just do it in May. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, Patreon subscribers, thank you very much for supporting me. I'm going to get some of these old shows up onto Patreon. This one and the one before I did about a week ago, I think. Haven't uploaded that one yet, but it's sitting on my SSD, safe and sound. So yeah, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss any content that's going up on the channel. Because there will be content. Absolutely. There's a couple of special mixes as well up on the channel at the moment. So there's one for Blue Note era drum and bass. That one is got a thumbnail of Goldie on it. And then there's Jungle Music So Good You'll Want to Slap Your Mama. Inspired by one of my favourite films of all time. Friday, I think that's Friday After Next, or it might be next Friday, I can't remember. Can't remember which movie it was. The scene where they set up a barbecue restaurant called Bros Barbecue, and when they do the advert, he says, "Tastes so good, you'll want to slap your mama." And then, Ice Cube's dad, I can't remember what the character's name is, just slaps his mum in the face. Love that scene so much, so good. Oh, mate, bro, you don't need to subscribe to Patreon if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to, then that's fine, but you don't have to apologise. If you want to support me and my work, all you have to do is just like, subscribe, comment on the videos. Honestly, that does a ton for me. And you've all been absolutely phenomenal doing that right now, because I've started to notice more comments on some of my bigger videos as well, and that's because you guys have been liking and subscribing, commenting on the videos, so it gets pushed up the algorithm. I've had some very weird comments on one of my jungle videos. I had to remove a couple of them because some of them were just outright racist. I was like, what? I mean, I'm not a big fan of just removing comments. Like, I'll leave them, but if it's just like clearly racist comments, I'm just going to remove those. The comment wasn't anything about the music or anything like that. It was just like one of these like spam style comments. So they just go on like videos that have a ton of views, and they just leave all these weird comments to try and get people to click on their profile and subscribe. It was those kind of comments. It's very strange. Does that mean I've hit the big time? Yeah, like I said, if it's Kurt Mall, if it's not like completely, if it's not completely like, you know, just insulting people, then I typically I leave a lot of it up because it is, you know, I don't like removing comments basically. But if it's like just straight up, just racist, homophobic, transphobic, or anything like that, I've got to get rid of it. I don't want that shit on my page at all. So I'm going to play you one more tune. That one was Photek, track called Rings Around Saturn, the Pesce and Dakota remix. And then this one is Paradox, track called A Certain Sound, and it's the remix. Yeah, prepare for some drum funk business on this one.
Some thoughts, a certain sound, a certain sound. Thoughts.
Yeah, I did mention early that I might do another stream this evening. We shall see. Probably not, don't expect it. But sometimes, I don't know, I have a YOLO feeling about some things, so I might do another one in the evening, who knows.
A certain sound, a certain sound. Thoughts.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. Thank you all for supporting the channel thus far. The story is not ended.
A certain sound.
This is only the beginning. But definitely some of my jungle mixes and I think one of the dubstep mixes hit the algorithm again. Because I've noticed a ton more comments. So I don't know if you've played GTA 3 before, but there's a radio station in Grand Theft Auto 3 called MSX FM, and it was done by Rob Playford, aka DJ Timecode, and then there was MC Codebreaker as well. And I think MC Codebreaker made his own. He made his own Grand Theft Auto mix radio station, which is pretty cool. And I was thinking, I wonder if I could do the same. Potentially not.
Couldn't you have?
But I'll have a think about it. might make some, might film some footage of me driving around in Liberty City, and then edit the audio so that it looks like, you know, it sounds like rather that I'm playing on a, you know, it's been playing on the radio station or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Couldn't you have dreamed it all?
Some thoughts have a certain sound. Have a certain sound. Thoughts.
Yeah, I found it funny in GTA 3 that, like, this guy's driving around an alternate New York City with an underground drum and bass MC blaring out of his car. That's so cool. Obviously, Rockstar is a British company, I believe. Well, I think the game's developed in the UK.
Some thoughts
The developer showing their British side there.
have a certain sound. Some thoughts. Have a certain sound. Have a certain sound. Some thoughts have a certain sound. Thoughts. Sound. Thoughts. Have a certain sound. Sound. Thoughts.
Right, that's me done. Right, guys, if I don't see you, I shall see you on the other side. But if I decide just randomly to do a stream tonight, then I'll see you tonight. That's if I decide to do it. But all the best, ladies and gentlemen. I shall be back in a couple of weeks, I think. And hopefully with a repaired hernia. And some people are telling me that have had the operation before in my, like, you know, in my family, that a couple of weeks you'll be fine. So I'm hoping after, as I said, after a couple of weeks I'll be A-OK, and I'll be ready to bless your eardrums with some more beats, breaks, and bass lines. So remember, check out the channel. Loads of mixes there. There's a few more mixes coming as well in the next couple of weeks. And Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. There's going to be some lost streams being uploaded to the Patreon page over the next couple of weeks. All the best, and I shall see you when I see you.